Hello everyone, in this video we are going to discuss the top 10 make-to-order manufacturing ERP systems in 2025. So let's dive right in.
Growing a business requires a holistic approach that extends beyond sales and marketing. This approach needs alignment among people, processes, and technologies. So if you're a business owner, operations, or finance leader looking to learn growth strategies from your peers and competitors, you're tuned into the right podcast. Welcome to the WBS Podcast, where scalable growth using business systems is our number one priority. Now, here is your host, Sam Gupta.
My name is Sam Gupta. I am principal at Elevate IQ. Elevate IQ is the independent CRM, ERP, and digital transformation consulting firm. We help our clients with technology, strategy, system selection, change management, and business process re-engineering. On that note, let's go back to today's topic, which is going to be top 10 make-to-order manufacturing ERP systems in 2025. Before we look at the list, let's look at how we define MTO industries. And for the most part, this is going to be any industries that are going to be focused on MTO-centric processes. So we include the majority of the business models as part of the list. And then we are going to discuss the nuances of each of the product as we discuss this list. But for the most part, we are looking at the overarching picture of make-to-order manufacturing. Now, if you want a very specific list to your micro vertical, you might need to hire somebody, or you might need to go deeper on this list, or maybe try to find a list that is going to be very specific to your micro industry, even inside make-to-order manufacturing. But this is slightly generalized make-to-order industries list. So some of the themes that you're going to find in the make-to-order space is whether these projects or the products or the jobs that you are going to have are going to be quick runs, or these are going to be long-standing projects. In general, for the most part, when you look at the long-standing projects, they are going to be slightly more project manufacturing, engineer to order. The MTO products are not necessarily inventoried. Some of them might be inventoried, but for the most part, they are going to be produced once the order is placed. There's not going to be as much collaboration with the customers. So these are some of the themes that you are looking at from the MTO process model perspective. The inventory complexities of different industries is going to be another flavor that you need to keep in mind when analyzing different systems targeted for make-to-order manufacturing. The formal versus informal manufacturing processes, or the engineering processes rather. When you look at them in general in the regulated industries, you are going to find the formal manufacturing process says, but they could be slightly more overwhelming for the other industries. And some companies may have many different modes just because their business processes require, for example, they might have other flavors of engineer to order or project manufacturing or MTS. So then you are looking at how complete the product model is going to be. So these are some of the layers that we have considered as part of the list. And then we are going to touch on each of them as we discuss these products. The criteria that we have considered for this list is number one, product share, acquisition strategy focused on MTO industries, product roadmap, community, ecosystem, win rate, technology strategy, as well as investors. So on that note, let's look at the list. Number 10 on our list is Plex. In Plex, for the most part, even though it is an ERP system, the ERP layers are not as detailed. It does really well for companies that primarily need the MES, and they are not as deep in their ERP-centric processes. So MES is going to be really deep. They are going to be really deep from the quality and compliance perspective, especially in certain ecosystems. For example, in the Ford and Toyota ecosystem, they are much deeper in general. The strengths to keep in mind is the last mile capabilities for these ecosystems are going to be much deeper, much more detailed, but they might not be there for the other ecosystems if you are going to be part of those ecosystems. The MES first approach, meaning you are going to have a lot more hardware-centric integrations, machine integrations, and the products that are going to be targeted for hardware, especially the ones that are going to be deeply penetrated in the Rockwell automation system, which is the parent company for Plex. So their machines are going to be integrated a lot more in general with Plex. And then it does have cloud native UI as well as architecture, but they don't have as much momentum or the R&D going in as part of Plex product. So that's why we are a little conservative overall from the Plex perspective, but they do really well in these specific ecosystems. Limitations, the ERP capabilities are going to be limited in general. The make to order manufacturing capabilities are going to be limited as well. For example, let's say if you're going to be in very deep contract manufacturing space, then Plex may not be the best fit. Limited ecosystem and consulting base. So that's number 10. Number 9 on our list is QAD. And QAD does really well among these tier suppliers as well as contract manufacturing, make to order companies. They are not going to be best fit for every single company out there. They have very specific companies that they like to work with just because their product model, their PLMs, the way they are integrated with their ERP, they can target only very specific micro verticals. So again, you need to look at your process model and you need to make sure that they are going to be good fit for you. So some strengths to keep in mind from the QAD perspective is that they have global capabilities. Supply chain suite plus ERP, meaning they have the supply chain suite has very unique structuring, the way the supply chain suites are structured in terms of their WMS, TMS, SNOP. So all of these capabilities are part of your supply chain suite. And then ERP suite has a very unique structure. With QAD, they are trying to combine both of these as part of their model. So that's a sort of unique advantage. Sometimes companies need that depending upon which make to order manufacturing you are going to be. And their best of breed capabilities, the integrated best of breed capabilities, you are going to get directly from the OEM. So that's a huge plus that is going to result into the faster and easier implementation. So now limitations to keep in mind is the model that it has, it might not be able to support as diverse business models. So if you are very focused in terms of your business model, this could be a great fit. May not be the best global corporate solution, as well as their ecosystem and consulting base is going to be limited just as with any other prescriptive products. So that's number 9. Number 8 on our list is IQMS Dalmia Works. So for the most part, Dalmia Works does really well in the plastic, and this is slightly more engineering-centric MTO products. So it's a very unique product because it does really well in the plastic space, which the 90% of the companies are going to be make to stock. They are going to have a little MTO flavor, but then it also does well in the engineering-centric spaces as well. So that's why it's a very unique product in general. So some of these trends to keep in mind is it does really well in the plastic extrusion make to order manufacturer. It has unique processes, the kind of hierarchies that you are going to have in the plastic extrusion space. It has support for all of those. And any of the make to order companies that are going to be on SolidWorks, it is probably going to be a better fit just because these two products are owned by the same parent company. So they are going to be a little bit tightly integrated in general. And then it's also going to have last mile capabilities, just as with any other prescriptive systems. Limitations are very similar as any other prescriptive systems. That is going to be your not as diverse, limited ecosystem, and not fit as the corporate financial ledger. That's probably not going to be the best use for this particular product. So that's number 8. Number 7 on our list is Oracle Cloud ERP. In general, Oracle Cloud ERP targets slightly larger companies that are trying to consolidate their global workloads. It's going to be deeper from the finance perspective, but the operational capabilities might not be as deeper. You might need add-ons for that. So the strengths would be robust finance capabilities, proven solution with large workloads as well as ecosystem. Limitations to keep in mind is limited last mile capabilities and make to order integrations. not necessarily a manufacturing solution, even though they have some manufacturing logos as well. But for the most part, their use case in those manufacturing spaces would be for the financial ledger. They don't have as deep operational capabilities, especially when you look at make to order centric spaces. And it might be overwhelming for SMB MTO companies. So those are some of the limitations, and that's number 7. Number 6 on our list is Acumatica. And Acumatica is a relatively smaller product compared to Oracle Cloud ERP, which is a slightly more enterprise centric product. So Acumatica would be a right fit for companies that are either outgrowing QuickBooks or Xero or the smaller ERP system, and they are looking for a real ERP system, the first one. Some strengths to keep in mind is the way their BOMs, as well as the costing layers, they are fairly scalable, at least for the smaller operations. And then they also have many different business models that they can support as part of the same ledger, same database. So that's a huge plus when you are trying to accommodate all of these business models as part of your workflow. They have cloud native UI. Their UI UX is an advantage, and their pricing model is going to be flexible as well. So those are some of these trends. Some limitations to keep in mind is their global capabilities would be limited. Mobile capabilities are not as strong as some of the other systems that would target slightly more complex MTO-centric workloads. And then even for make-to-order manufacturing, you are probably going to require a lot of add-ons with Acumatica. So that's going to be a little negative for Acumatica, and that's number 6. Number 5 on our list is SAP S/4HANA. SAP S/4HANA is a very comparable system to your Oracle Cloud ERP. For the most part, it is meant for larger global companies that are trying to consolidate their global operations as part of one system, one ledger, so that they have complete financial control throughout their processes. So these strengths are going to be very similar to your Oracle Cloud ERP. This is the enterprise product designed for make-to-order centric companies. The power of HANA, which might be an advantage for SAP over Oracle, but Oracle has very similar capabilities as part of their model as well. The financial governance as well as the best of breed architecture. So those could be some other strengths to keep in mind for SAP S/4HANA. Some limitations. Cloud capabilities not as mature as on-prem. Even today, the majority of the deployments that SAP does, they are probably on-prem. The public cloud is not as well adopted. The community, the consulting community that we have as part of the SAP S/4HANA, even though they are trying to push the public cloud, but they don't necessarily have the skill set or expertise to be successful with those or navigate around constraints that are going to be part of the public cloud installation. And that's why we are seeing a lot more failures as part of the SAP S/4HANA workloads. But again, since they are just starting in their cloud journey in their ecosystem, so that's why it will take a while before they have real success among cloud workloads. Too big for the smaller MTO companies, as well as limited last mile capabilities and third party pre integrated options. So, those are some of the limitations, and that's number 5. Number 4 on our list is Microsoft Dynamics 365 FNO. And FNO would be slightly ahead compared to your SAP S/4HANA. For the most part, companies are going to use Microsoft Dynamics 365 FNO when they are trying to consolidate global operations. But the strengths to keep in mind is the richer core ERP capabilities for MTU companies, at least in the cloud. They have a lot more cloud installations compared to your SAP S/4HANA. SAP S/4HANA is going to have a lot more on-prem installations. They have been successful there. Depending upon whether you need cloud or on-prem, you need to decide on that. But if you're looking for mature cloud operational capabilities, then Microsoft Dynamics 365 FNO is going to have that. best of breed products integrated at the database level. So they have a lot of different products. Generally, these companies integrate at the service level. Database level integration is going to have different advantage in terms of the speed, the performance. So that's what is there with Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O. And then their ecosystem and marketplace is very powerful. So those are some of the strengths. The limitations: limited pre-baked integrations for make-to-order companies, too big for smaller companies, and limited last-mile capabilities. So those are some of the limitations, and that's number 4. Number 3 on our list is Infor Cloud Suite Industrial Sideline. And this would be ideal for smaller MTO companies with highly configurable products. If these MTO companies, for the most part, if you look at the MTO companies, they are probably not going to have the field service processes, because for the most part, field service processes would be relevant for slightly larger product engineered to order centric products. But there might be companies that might require field service capabilities intertwined with the make to order operations as well. If you need that, then that's where Infor Cloud Suite Industrial is very strong. Some strengths to keep in mind: support for both informal and formal BOMs, as well as the engineering processes. Some products mandate that, depending upon whether you are going to be part of the regulated industries, depending upon what your pain points are. If compliance is a pain point, then you might want to go for slightly more restricted model. But if you go for that, then you lose flexibility. So again, that's going to be a design choice in terms of how you want to structure your operations. And then detailed and scalable costing layers. So again, the costing is very deep. It's very logical the way the product and data model is designed within Infor Cloud Suite Industrial. And then field service integration as well as the CPQ are going to be embedded as part of the core manufacturing processes. Limitations to keep in mind is disconnected financial reporting experience that is not built as part of the product that you would expect with any of the other cloud-centric products. That is not there with Infor Cloud Suite Industrial Sideline. The user experience could be tricky just because it's slightly different model the way it is structured. So if you have used a lot of different cloud native systems and your expectation is going to be to have very similar user experience for this product as well, it might not be the same. So that's where you're going to have a little learning curve with the product as well. The ecosystem is weak, and then the third party options are going to be limited as well. So that's number 3. Number 2 on our list is Appicore Kinetic. And Appicore Kinetic is a very comparable product to your Infor Cloud Suite Industrial. It's just that Appicore Kinetic is positioned for slightly more regulated industries. Inventory is going to be complex, so it does really well in spaces such as your metal, where during planning you would require product attributes that may not be available with your Infor Cloud Suite Industrial, where attributes are only used for the analytics. It's part of the BOM, but it does not go through the MRP processes. So that's going to be a real distinction between these two products. Some other strengths: strong with the complex inventory needs. In the look and feel, the way the product is structured, it does have Microsoft look and feel. So if you're coming from your Microsoft-centric user experience, then you might appreciate this look and feel. Limitations: global financial operations, so the number of layers that the product has. It's not meant for very large organizations. For them, you might need to take some ad hoc arrangements, and sometimes that fires back. It might not provide the same level of efficiency that you might be expecting, if you had these layers baked as part of the product. Some other limitations: embedded experience with field service and quality. Even though they have come a long way with respect to embedded experience, for the field service and quality, it's a different configuration. It's a different product experience. So make sure you do research before you commit to this product. And then ecosystem and marketplace is going to be weaker, as with any other prescriptive products. So that's number 2. Number 1 on our list is Infor Cloud Suite LN. So Infor Cloud Suite LN is ideal for companies that are consolidating their global MTO operations as part of one product, one ledger. If they are doing that, then Infor Cloud Suite LN is going to be a great fit. In general, Infor Cloud Suite LN overcomes with the weakness that your Epicor Kinetic or your Infor Cloud Suite Industrial Sightline is going to have in terms of the product model, in terms of the kind of modes that are going to be supported as part of the product. Infor Cloud Suite LN can support a lot more. It is proven with very large companies with global operations. So those are then their strengths. Some other strengths, the last mile capabilities, along with breadth of capabilities for diversified manufacturing business models, best of breed integration offered out of the box. So that's a huge plus. Limitations, might not be the best fit as a corporate financial ledger, just like any other prescriptive products. UI is a little bit legacy, just like any other Infor products. It's not as modern as some of the other cloud native options that we have on this list. And the ecosystem and marketplace is going to be weaker as well. So that's number one. If you enjoyed this video, we publish them on a weekly basis, so you might want to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you don't want to miss them. This podcast is also available in the audio form on major podcasting channels, so you might want to head there and subscribe. We are going to include a link as well as QR code for a report that is going to have much deeper intel and analysis of the points that we have discussed in this video, so you might want to check that. On that note, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the WBS Podcast. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. For more information on growth strategies for SMBs using ERP and digital transformation, check out our community at WBS.rocks. We'll see you next time.